2 people who were disqualified, banned from football for 5 years. And maybe I should just outline the process in order to, answer some of the questions that probably have been, in your minds when coming here. I mean, the process that led to the banning of the 2 aspirants for the GFAF presidency. When the Normalization Committee came into office in March 2012, what we found was that the accounts of the GFA were not audited for 3 years previous to that, in 2009, 2010, and 2011. And accordingly, we commissioned an audit report by the accountancy firm, Augustus Prum, to undertake this audit exercise for these 3 years in accordance with the FAP regulations, because most of the money that comes into the GFA obviously is from the FIFA subvention, that is $250,000 every year. And of course the FAP regulations, that the FIFA Financial Assistance Program regulations, requires that every year national associations must conduct a local audit exercise. There are 2 audit exercises that may be carried out with regards to the FAP monies. The first is a local audit exercise, and the second is a FIFA audit exercise. But the FIFA audit exercise is carried out in only 1/10 of the FIFA members every year, randomly selected. So basically that's where we are, and we hope that the will of the Gambian people, the will of the footballing community in the Gambia would be expressed on that day, so that the new committee can take over and proceed with the running of football, in the best interest of everybody. Thank you very much.
They told us in their press conference that they were not informed that, or officially written to, that they were banned. And in normal procedures, they should be informed first before they be here. I want a clarification on that. Marshall, you talked about the security issue. We've been, attending many congresses in this country. I need an additional explanation or additional information with regards to why security this time is more to that of that previous. Do you have a threat from particular individuals or people who told you that, to inform you that there will be a problem during the Congress? If yes, let us know the name of it. Thank you very much.
The process by which the ban would be announced would be through a press release. And the essence of any communication is for the person who is targeted to receive the information. Apparently, that was effective because all of them who were affected by the ban reacted to the press conference, to the press release. That showed that the communication was effective because they heard what was said about the ban, and basically that's the answer. I mean, we have chosen a methodology of communication which have been done previously, and whoever has an objection to that has a right to object. But at the end of the day, that is the process by which we choose to communicate, and we can argue about the rightness or the wrongness of it, but yeah, I mean, the aim was achieved, which was to communicate the message.
On the issue of security, it is good that we learn from experience. Nobody has to tell us. We witnessed 2 congresses, Haji. The first Congress which rejected the Constitution, and the second Congress that adopted the Constitution. Were you satisfied with the level of security? I was not, because I felt very threatened.
Notify members of the football family that they were banned, not to communicate to them either by writing. If they are appeal, how are they going to appeal? Are they going to say, due to what I heard from the radio stations or what I read from the newspapers, I am appealing for you to tamper justice with mass? I don't think any reasonable person would understand that situation.
Desist from language that is unbecoming. Insinuations and innuendos. The words, they matter. They matter. If you feel we are unreasonable, that's your opinion. But let's not come here and you start telling you are unreasonable. through insinuation or innuendo or through language, which is difficult. English is difficult for us.
It stated that the minutes were not recorded of the executive meetings. Now, we understand that two affected members have appealed that they were not part of the decision making, and based on that, we lifted the ban, not only them and all the other regional representatives concerned. Now, how so were you that they were not actually taking part in those decision making since no minutes were recorded?
My question is to Uncle Omar C. I have two questions. My first question is with regards to the banning of Sidi and Hala Samba. These were people who were being investigated by the state when they were dissolved. The office of the Minister of Youth and Sports, who dissolved them, wrote to the office of the President, giving reasons for their dissolvement, their mismanagement, all those things. The state investigated them, did not find anything, and then decided to do away with the case. Instead, landing the then permanent secretary into hot soup, who is in fact now going to the court. And now the normalization committee in turn is coming, saying that they have done their audits and they have found these people wanting and they are disbanding them. So don't you think that the normalization committee is trying to discredit the credibility of the state in this case? That is my first question. My second question is, I've got reliable sources from URR where there is still uncertainty hanging over the regional sports associations there, who is supposed to be the chairman of the regional football association there. Because there are several elections that were done. And it went up to an extent that it even wanted to spiral out of hand, where it nearly led to violence, it nearly led to chaos, and there is still ongoing pandemonium among the youths and football stakeholders in URR. And we are getting confirmed results that there are two sets of people who are saying that they are coming to the Congress. We have Furu Gomez, we have Abubakar Krubari. Mr. C, I want you to tell us who is the normalization committee recognizing as the chairman of the Regional Football Committee and who is going to come and represent URR in this elective Congress.
We held a Congress in URR, we were represented by a legal practitioner, and they elected an executive which was headed by Furu Gomez. Furu Gomez, they say, happened to be also chairman of the Sports Council. He's a Gambian, he lives in URR. The other issue we cannot deal with. His position as chairman of the Sports Council we cannot deal with. Let them deal with, or other people who are responsible for the Sports Council, let them deal with that. But we are satisfied that that executive that was elected is the bona fide executive of the URR Football Association. And their names are here, their photographs have been taken, and they will be accredited, and they will be the one who will be allowed to enter the Congress. Now about the investigation, I think we must get this clear, very clear. FIFA regulations and rules stipulate that nobody can investigate people when they are engaged in their normal duties of administering football, except the Football Association of the country, and in this case the Normalization Committee. We cannot discredit the state, and we never make an attempt to discredit the state. The state was carrying its own responsibility as a state to find out what was going on, the results of which we are not aware. We never interfered, or we never even asked about those results, because it doesn't concern us. So we carried out our own investigation, and we found out what we found out, and it's on the table for everybody to see. People who are banned, there is no other reason to ban them except what we have seen from the reports. That's it.
Well, the stage is gradually being set for one of the keenly and hottest contested GFA presidential election. It is going to be Modu Musa and Mustafa Kebe going head-to-head. Whatever the case might be, come July 31st, the day of the Congress, this place here will see the back of the
normalization